Speaking of Mustangs, we watched Lord of the Rings, which has a horse in it. That was a stretch.
This is so stupid!
You're like, go. Yeah, I totally made that up. We need to find a new game. I don't mean that to trick you. I'm just like, that's surprising.
That's exactly what it's meant for!
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Pocket Reviews. This time, I'm talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantomania. This movie just came out as of recording this. I went and saw it opening night, which for me is, based on my location, a Thursday night rather than a Friday night. And don't worry, this is a spoiler-free episode, and I'll explain some of the good things about it, some of the bad things about it, without giving away really any of the story or the fun stuff. Initial takeaway is that this is more of a Marvel movie than any of the Marvel movies that have come after the Spider-Man No Way Home. The past two Marvel movies, referring to Doctor Strange and Thor Love and Thunder, they didn't exactly feel like Marvel movies per se. The Doctor Strange felt retarded, and then the Thor Love and Thunder was good, but it felt more like a Aquaman kind of movie, or Fast and Furious. It was not treating itself too seriously, which is what made it good, but again, not exactly Marvel. I compare it to Fast and Furious simply because of the outrageous silliness that goes on during it. Marvel movies usually don't treat themselves too seriously, but this was beyond comprehension, just like the new Fast and Furious movies are. Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, I would say, is a very entertaining and fun movie. It's definitely worth a viewing in the theater just for the experience of going and seeing a very engaging, very fun, very visually stimulating movie. Again, without spoiling anything, the story is pretty well done. It explains a lot as far as where they're taking this in the universe of Marvel. The past two movies haven't really given us like a nod or anything to the direction they're going. It's just kind of nudged in the sense of like characters, like, hey, this character's in it, hey, this character's in it, or hey, this character's going to be in the future movies. The way this movie operates is it points towards the direction that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going. And it explains some answers some questions that we all probably have as far as to where the next phase will end up. It also answers some questions from the previous Ant-Man movies that were left unanswered. My only gripe about this movie is probably just that a lot of the humor, again, similarly to Fast and Furious, just kind of made me roll my eyes. There were definitely a lot of parts that made me laugh, and they were actually very funny. But there were some parts that either just went completely over my head, or I was just like, wow, oh, okay. For those of you that care about this, there are no real political opinions that are shared, I guess, in this movie, other than a small joke. But that is not very long lasting, and it's actually kind of made fun of, so it made me laugh anyway. I love going to opening nights for Marvel movies in the theater simply for the experience. I always have a good time with a group of Marvel fans. When fun things happen on screen, people react. When a character gets introduced that we haven't seen before, people freak out and clap or get excited, and that's really fun for me to experience, and I'd be curious if you guys listening experience that too or enjoy experiencing that. I went and saw Avengers Endgame opening night, and that was probably the best movie theater experience I've ever had. Everybody was dressed up. It was like a mini Comic-Con out in the lobby, and then every moment people gasped, clapped, screamed and cried. I mean, it was so much fun to be a part of that and to experience that movie with that group of people. It can get annoying when there's a baby crying or, when somebody's talking through the movie, for me, but I am the kind of person that enjoys the interaction or the reaction from the crowd. When something intense happens, it makes me more engaged in the film when I hear somebody close to me just go, like gasp really high or go, oh no. It makes me smile, it makes me laugh because it means that it moved them, and it helps different things in the movie move me as well. Why are you barking? You wanna go inside? As far as the end credit scene goes, again, without spoiling anything, it reveals a great momentum, not just where the direction of Marvel is going, but also who and what and why. Overall, I really, really did enjoy this movie. It's been a long time since I've gone to the movie theater and thoroughly enjoyed a Marvel movie, and this was one of those movies that I did. If I had to compare it to a different Marvel movie that's already been out, I would say it's very similar to maybe Captain America Civil War type humor and action and whatnot. It's also very similar. It's very similar to the original Doctor Strange, just visually speaking, since they're in the quantum realm and it's kind of trippy. I definitely would not recommend that you do acid, number one, let alone go see this movie on any type of drugs for that matter. All in all, I would say this movie was done very, very well, and I'm super excited for the next Marvel movie to come out, which would be Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, so I am very pumped about that. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm curious about what you guys think about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. So if you're listening on Spotify, there is a place on the bottom of in the description of the episode, somewhere down there, where Spotify allows you to give a quick or brief answer to a question. And the question I'm just asking is, what'd you think? What'd you like? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Why? I'm curious to hear what everybody thinks, because online, it's only been out for a day or two, and it's very divided. People either love it or they hate it, which is kind of silly because it's very much definition Marvel. It just doesn't have all the 2022 stuff in it, I guess. But anyway, thank you guys for listening, and I'll check you at the next Pocket Review.